What's happening, y'all? um, I just got back from a magical trip, and I'm very tired. Y'all, for going on the last 3 weeks, I've been working or traveling 10-hour days. I think I've had maybe 3 days off, but really only one full day off because on my off days, I'm usually paying my employees or going by the bank or working out taxes or whatever the situation may be. So, believe it or not, y'all gonna laugh at me. I don't know if it's me getting older or not, but I find peace sitting on the porch in my rocking chair. Usually no phone, no radio, no nothing. Just sitting on the porch. And I used to wonder why my grandparents used to just sit. They could sit out on the porch in Brookhaven, Mississippi all fucking day. And I think I'm sort of moving to that point. I have a certain level of inner peace now. But let me tell y'all what happened, man. I had one of the dopest experiences. I do our company, a Banner Vision. We do a considerable amount of work, in the school systems, and that's something that I don't talk about a lot. That's not something that I need accolades from or whatever the situation may end up being. Um, but we had an opportunity to help another state, with some of their practices as it pertains to especially black and brown people. And they brought me down to have a conversation with the teachers, the principals, and even the like just everybody that works in the school systems. And it was amazing because when I went in, my heart told me, go and talk to the kids first. It's similar. I tell people all the time, people have all of these ideas and thoughts about, what would make black people's lives better, but they don't have people from those communities um, involved in the planning aspect of it. So I want to tell y'all something that I actually did that, I think the universe showed me that I have a few biases myself. They were taking me to the elementary school, and I was like, yo, I need to go to the high school students so, they can articulate to me what I need to take, to this meeting. And guess where I got most of my information from? It's from the elementary students. Like, those kids straight up told me what was going on. Like, straight to the point. It was like some brown stuff in the water. There's some crazy stuff be coming out the vents. But what was funny is they all looked at the teachers first. And I told them, come in close. I said, I'm not going to snitch on you. You come in and you tell me I'm trying to make y'all schools better. And the kids all got together, and it was so ill. And it was special to me because I was trying to run, to the high school and junior high. And it reminded me that these elementary children know what's going on, and they've had the least amount of socialism. So they haven't been socialized to the point where God has been beaten out of them. That free spirit, that voice that you hear in your soul, in your soul, I should say. And I did something, that I do at the God Box lecture series, or I used to do. I asked because in actuality, they took me to what they call the trouble students, and those are the students that I love the most. So I I asked who makes the best grades, and they showed me the 2 students, and I gave them money. Like, I gave them some bread. And I said, I want you guys to remember something. Outside of sports and you know, music and stuff, you get paid for what you know. And I said, y'all want this money, don't you? And they was like, yeah. It was basically, we want to get to the bag. And I told them, I said, well, always remember this lesson. You didn't get the bag because you didn't have the information. In the real world, you get paid for what you know. And you suffer because of what you don't know. And I saw them little kids go. And I was like, that's it. But moving forward, we went to the high schools and we went to the junior high, and I never forget something, y'all, and this touched me. So I went over to the brother, you know, a couple brothers was up in there, we was slugged out, had the gold teeth, whatever. And I, you know, they were the ones that I was most impressed with, you know, with me being there. And I was like, yo, like, I need y'all to tell me really what's going on. I said, I used to be you in high school. You know, I used to be the one that teachers turn their nose up to, you know. And I said, I'm one of the few adults that matured, but I never grew up. I didn't forget how the grown-ups used to treat me. I didn't remember that. I didn't forget the mean stuff that they used to do to me. So I said, you have somebody who's coming back, who's representing you and trying to be your voice, but's grown up in the sense of age. So I said, don't come in here playing. I said, I relate to you. We can laugh and joke, but I'm dead serious. So we went in, man, and they told me like what's really going on. And one of the biggest problems in our communities, especially in our schools, you have people who are not black and brown. And I'm not saying that only black and brown people should always teach our children, but if you can't relate, if you don't come from where we come from, then you need some counseling. You need some sensitivity counseling. You need to go and spend time in these communities if you truly care, because in most cases, people are trying to get their tenure or trying to get their years in at the expense of our children and run back to they, you know, picket fence towns, or they want to go back in the suburbs or on the outskirts of town and be where they really want to be, and they really don't care about our children. They really don't relate to our children. I gave an example, and this really happened to me. There was this young white teacher who had just come out of college, and I was mischievous. To say I wasn't necessarily a bad kid, but I was, you know, I could do gymnastics and flip, and I was just real rambunctious. And she called my mom up and told my mom that I needed to be in special classes. And I told them, I said, imagine if my mother was any weaker, any more busy, any of these things, any more stressed, whatever the situation may end up being, and she would have listened to that teacher. Imagine where I would be right now. You know, but my mom told that teacher, my mom said, my son is special, not the kind of special you talking about. She said, my son can get out there and, how y'all doing? My son can, great. My son can get out there and do backflips. And she said, what you also don't know is my son was tested in the second or third grade. I was tested, and this was in the fourth grade, the beginning of my fourth grade. But I read on a junior and college level when I was in the second and third grade, where most people only read on the third grade level. So my mom said, there is nothing wrong with my student. I mean, with my son. And so my mom pulled me out, and I went from being a C to D student to being an A and B student in an environment where people actually cared about me. You know, so these were some of the things that these students were talking to me about. And one teacher even pulled me to the side and said, you know, some parents are hustling their children, you know, to get tested so they can get funded. You know, it was all kind of crazy things that I learned, but the biggest thing was that these young men and women and children were telling me, like, it just felt good for somebody to come back and not preach and project to us. Somebody who came and listened. Because I told them I didn't come to talk to y'all about what I believe in and the stuff that y'all see. I really want to come and let you teach me what I can do better to represent you when I go and speak to these grown-ups. And it was so amazing, man. So amazing. And the only reason why I'm not telling y'all what city I was in, because if you follow me, you know where I was. Because you got so many people who hate and try to ruin the opportunities for us to really come back and do for our communities, you know, because of the type of music that we've done in the past or that I do now. You know what I'm saying? But it's not against the law. And it's no different than, you know, Steven Spielberg or Stephen King or these people, you know, making horror movies or whatever the situation may end up being. But I just wanted to tell y'all, like, it was awesome. You know, while everybody else was tripping on Trump and the presidency and all that kind of stuff, me and my team was out doing the work. And I didn't have time to worry about that. Like, it was awesome. Like, yesterday was magical for me. So I just wanted y'all to know, man, like, there are some things that are out here happening that we can control and things that we can do in our own communities while the rest of the world is going crazy, because that's what they want. They want you out of your mind. They want you in a place where you're not comfortable with thinking. You know? Oh, but I want to go back to tell y'all what that young brother told me. And it really touched my heart, man. Like, I could tell he was from the hood. I could tell he had been through some things. He said, David Banner, he said, one of the things these teachers don't understand, like, it's a blessing for me to be here. He said, just the fact that I show up every day. And I can tell, what I got from him is, basically, my mom don't care, or whatever situation, they don't care whether I'm, you know, whether I come to school or not. You know, whether that's selling drugs, whatever. He said, Banner, I showed up. And although I know that may not be enough for the world, that's enough for me. You know, that's a big step for him. You feel me? And it touched my heart. And he said, Banner, man, these teachers spend so much time talking about how I look. And that was one of the reasons why I went with my, well, it was fresh yesterday. That's why I went with my hair braided up, to let them know I got braids. I look fly. I look just like them. And I debated against Congress and won. I make more money than than anybody who works in your school, and I look just like them. You know, they told me, they was like, and this hit me when I went to the high school. The high school looked like the damn detention center. It looked like jail. And one of them students say, if they treat us like animals, we gonna act like animals. And that's scientifically proven. I was in a movie called The Experiment that was based on the Stanford experiment, where they took the guards and made them prisoners, and made the prisoners the guards, and the prisoners who they gave guard responsibility started acting like guards for real, and the old guards really start acting like prisoners. So it's scientifically proven that if you treat our children like that, that is what they're going to give back. And literally, when I walked into school, they had like glass, like they be having at the hood grocery stores and stuff, the glass, and it was policemen everywhere. And I was like, bro, who can learn in this environment? So those are some of the things that I was able to take back to a lot of the teachers and a lot of the principals and a lot of the people who deal in state, not just state funding, but just state curriculum. I also told them that it is scientifically proven that when in most cases, when people look at a picture, like let's say if a picture is taken, the first thing that they do is they look to see if they see themselves. If they don't see themselves, then the next thing that they do is look for someone who looks like them. I said it's no different in your curriculum. You know, the population in your city, in the city that I was speaking in, is mostly black and brown. But you don't see black and brown people in the curriculum, or people who mean something to them. I gave the example of, you know, some of the children that I counsel. I asked them, I was like, yo, who's the richest man who ever walked the earth? And, you know, people say Bill Gates and all of these different type of people. I say, no, it's Mansa Musa. He was African. He looked just like you. And they were like, word? Black people created math and science. Word? So math ain't hard, because my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandparents had something to do with it. You damn right. You know? So these were the types of things that I was able to bring to the grown-ups and the officials, large in part because of these students and the research that my team had put together. So together we had core knowledge that they can look up, research that they can look up, but then we had real life facts and things that would that actually affect the people who have to deal in that system every day. So, you know, it was amazing, and I really appreciate the people who see worth in the things that I do, because a lot of times people complain about what folks are able to do locally, but sometimes people locally don't seem to have the same interest, you know. And I even noticed in college, like, the colleges spend so much time bringing in foreigners who the students can't even understand their language, that they end up missing the people right from their community that can affect these students, especially on the college level. Another thing that I noticed, and it was funny, one of the most amazing teachers who jumped in on the side of the students, she was like, I went to high school here. So the things that they're talking about, you know, the counselors not giving them proper guidance as it pertains to scholarships, and even if they give them like the websites or the places that they can get the scholarships from, they don't show them how to go about doing it. She said, I know, because I had to learn myself. You know, and I gave them the example. I was like, yo, do you know if you hired teachers who were from this area, they would have a vested interest in these children learning? And I also told them, I said, that's the same way I feel about cops. If in every squad car you had somebody who came from that community, they would be less likely to shoot somebody, because they know they got to see their families in church, or their families in school, or their families in the grocery stores. It's the same way as it pertains to these schools. And I also told them, I was like, yo, y'all are so quick to throw these kids in jail and have all these zero tolerance bullshit laws in the black and brown schools. I said, but we are supposed to allow our children to make mistakes so we can see what type of people they are in real life. But because of the school to prison complex, they want to continue to throw black and brown kids in jail. Because America became great because of free labor. Don't get it fucked up. So in order to stay, no other country has grown as fast as America, and it is because of free labor. So in order for them to stay great, they have to find a way to subsidize for not having that free labor. And the way that they do that is prison. So in me saying that, I told them, man, I was like, yo, these children, and I'm not saying that they don't need to be disciplined. I'm saying that we need to see the tendencies of our children in a microcosm so we can correct them. But similar to prison, they no longer want to correct the problems. They want to keep the students there, or they want to keep the people there so they can have that free labor that we just discussed. So, I know I went a little bit far, but like, my yesterday was magical And I really, really appreciate you guys for believing in me, for allowing me to be my genuine self, for allowing me to grow into the position of an elder. I'm not there yet, but I don't mind moving in that position. And I want you guys to know, or I want you all to know that this is something that I take very serious, and I appreciate the opportunity. I am not perfect. I still make mistakes. I still look forward to making some mistakes. I enjoy making mistakes. I enjoy fucking up every now and then. I will. Get ready for it. Also, if you want to support me, please go and pre-order the God Box. Find a way. If it's hard for you to download it, if you never downloaded or pre-ordered an album before, go and check it out. You know, anywhere that you get music, like, don't bootleg my shit. One thing about me, I don't believe in getting anything for free. But that's the way that we move forward. You know, come and buy a t-shirt from me. They're pricey, but they're pricey for a reason. They're pricey so we can survive, and they're pricey because I'm in the quality shit. So if you support me, support the way that I live, the best way for me to acquire more information and continue to push forward and to be able to travel to these places where people need me, we need to eat. Like, y'all ain't buying no fucking records. You know, people want, you know, all of these people to support and be there when they need them, but they never do nothing to be reciprocal in the nature of allowing these people to find peace to research, time to research. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope that you support the God Box. It means the world to me. I'm going to go ahead and put that bitch out, and I'm going to see what y'all talking about. Danny, I appreciate you. I see you. You know, shit, I disagree with you, brother, but shit, it definitely set me free. Everybody talk all that shit. I'd rather have bread and trying to figure this shit out than be broke and trying to figure this shit out. So you keep that shit over there. I don't believe in being broke. We don't come from we come from opulence. You know, Africans come from opulence. We come from shiny shit, whether it's the sun, whether it's jewels, whether it's the sand, whether it's the jungle. We come from fucking opulence. So I don't believe in struggling. You take that shit somewhere else. I almost blocked your ass. Fuck being broke. I'm not gonna be broke. That's something I refuse to be. I call myself the $1 billion freedom fighter for a fucking reason. I just don't believe in that martyr shit. If I'm dead, I can't help you. If I'm broke, I can't help you. You understand what I'm saying? So, and me saying that, like, it's awesome. And just because I tell you that I'm to support me, don't mean I'm fucking hurting. That means that to continue the great shit that's going on. Do it look like I'm missing a motherfucking meal? You know, I'm making a lot of bread right now, to be honest with you. But what I try to get people to understand, if I'm not making my bread from you, then when it come down to it, why should you be my focus? Even though I personally decide that you all are going to have to learn to invest in the people that you want to help you. You wonder why you have so many sellout, coon-ass leaders. One, because they probably weak in the mind, but two, because you don't support them. They get their bread from the same folks you want them to fight. We better start waking up from that shit. You know, I mean, I get all that stuff you talking about, bro, but at the end of the day, bro, we live in an environment of capitalism. So until we get out that environment, the shit you talking about is theory, homie. I appreciate you, but that shit don't work until we're able to get outside of that system. So you do what you want to. You can keep typing that shit, bro, but you know, that's theory, homie. But you know, no, it's not about paying to care. I care in general, bro, but it's about supporting each other. It has nothing to do with care. My care is in my action every day, King. That's you and how you feel. But we have to learn to support those who support us. It's not about a tit for tat. But if you want people to continue to move in that direction and spend that kind of time, you have to support. You know, so we keep moving forward, and we do what we do. You know, and you don't have to. I ask people to. I'm going to continue to do what I do, regardless of what. But we have so many different opinions about what people should do and how they should do it, and we don't have a stake in it at all. And I also noticed that the people who complain the most are the people who do the least, the people who support the least. And we have to stop that. You know, we have to stop that. You know? So, you know, we continue moving forward, and we do the best that we possibly can do. You know, and that's all we can do. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all. Miss Lynn, don't argue with them. Like, that's something that you don't have to do for me. Because a lot of these people, they don't even be black folks. A lot of times these folks be put here to go back and forth and to keep up drama. Don't worry about that. And the truth is sometimes people may be right. You know, I'm not perfect. They may be right. But in the scheme of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to say, don't allow people to get you off point. You know, you just move forward. You don't have to defend me. My deeds defend me. You understand what I'm saying? Don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't even worry about them kind of people. And this is what you can do. See that right there? Bow. Then you ain't got to worry about that no more. You know, for me, you think about what people say. You consider what they say. Because they may be right in some cases. But for me, it's about us just supporting each other regardless, you know. So, love you.